Good morning, Chicago. Our Bears are in jolly old England this morning with a litmus test on their progression in an NFL playoff team. As sure as Big Ben tells time, this morning's London show with the Jacksonville Jaguars is a can't-trip game for the Bears. Friends, grab your tea or NFL morning beverage of your choice because it is time to bear down with the game day voice of Chicago Bears fan, Chicago Sports Podcast, Monsters of the Madhouse, coming to you live from Bridges Scoreboard, your Northwest Indiana Chicago Sports headquarters, with the best fish and chips in the side of the Atlantic Ocean, located in beautiful Griffith, Indiana. Friends, thank you for joining us. I'm your punky left tackle, Brandon Trax Hyatt, joined by Chicago Bears All-Pro quarterback Jim Miller of Sirius XM NFL Radio and ESPN's 1000, where he delivers some of the football's best expertise and analysis. He will be with us here momentarily, and until then, we're going to do a pregame show. So right now, what we're looking at is the Bears are 3-2. And the Titans are 1-4. The TV, you're looking at that on the NFL Network on like 100 televisions here at Bridges Scoreboard. The Bears line is 1.5, I believe. I don't know if that's changed. And the over and under is 44 points. We got enough. Light went out. Jim, as you know, Bears Nation is all on the surging Bears emergence of a true NFC player. Given that the competition we face so far is not on par with the likes of Kansas City and San Francisco, do we need to pump the brakes, or is this team truly emerging as a bona fide playoff contender?
Well, I think we really need to see how they do against some of these better competition teams, gauge where they're at from there, and then see what we got before we call them a playoff contender.
Yeah, I agree. We need to take a look at this, see what's going on as far as the playoff contender goes. I mean, we've got a little bit of momentum, and we all know that football is all built on momentum. You know, even when you kind of like get ahead of yourself in the first half or behind, and you think it's over. Now the other team kind of like slips away. But I mean, seriously, it's game to game, and we know also that the Bears showed up a little bit early, and I think that helps out and speaks volume for our attention to detail and preparation for this game. So hopefully that has something to do with it. Caleb Mania is running wild in Chicagoland as the chef has become the first QB drafted #1 overall in the common draft era to post winning record games through his first 5 games. That's amazing. I had to look that up like 5 or 6 times. That's an actual real stat. Where has Caleb grown the most since his rocky NFL debut against the Tennessee Titans, would you say?
Just keeping composure, really. That from the first game where he looked real rocky, real nervous, he's just standing in there, looking, making his progressions, making his throws, and not turning the ball over.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's not turning the ball over, but hey, what about it when they gave him a little bit more of a run game? That takes a lot of pressure off of our rookie quarterback, any rookie quarterback, even if he's projected to be the next best thing since Sid Luckman. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And don't even ask me what Sid looks like, because even though these kids right in front of me here with all the Bears swag and the little orange, cute little mini helmet that I'm sure they're going to have Jim Miller sign in the white football, it's one thing that we just have to take a look at and just remember that he's a rookie and he needs to get that running game going. But it's kind of hard to do when we're playing musical chairs on the freaking Titanic, because our offensive line is ever changing, and of all positions in the NFL, you have to have continuity on the offensive line, right?
Oh, absolutely. Offensive line almost, more important than, a lot of the skill positions, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and it all goes back to all the guys and the big uglies like me. You know, we don't get any much of praise and appreciation. It's always like you never get a highlight reel, you know, unless there's a super duper pancake or something. And we're not talking about the Bridges Scoreboard breakfast buffet up here that guys are lining up and just filling their plates full of food for only $10. I told Scott Bridges, I says, hey man, are we trying to give away money here? And he doesn't care. He loves to just put smile on everybody's faces. But seriously, the offensive line, man, it is like, okay, so you buy a Maserati or a really fancy car, a nice big pickup truck, you know, whatever. The first thing you go out and get is freaking insurance, you know what I mean? And that's what it is for, you know, a quarterback, you know?
Absolutely. I think a lot of it, a lot of what he planned on for the line really revolved around the signing of Ryan Bates, and Bates being on the IL.
Yeah.
Really kind of.
When's he coming back? You know when he's coming back?
He should be within the next week or two from what I'm hearing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping that'll help out. I mean, even if he isn't like elevated to a starting position, at least he'll be in there to help out in case something, you know, goes awry or just a breather or something. You know what I mean? You know, as big guys, we need some breathers, you know?
Yeah.
So Jim, Caleb's drawing one of the NFL's biggest disappointments this season in a Jaguars defense that's meowing like a ragdoll cat through the season's first quarter. Jacksonville ranks 31st overall in total D and is as dead as Elvis last in passing D. Do you see another 300 passing performance in Caleb's future today, bro?
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. Let's just hope that they're not all jet lagged being in London.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I mean, I was talking to Urlacher, and he was telling me that freaking, he said that 6-hour difference is just crazy. Like, he's just not even used to it right now because it's a whole different, I mean, look at it right now. It's almost about ready to be game time. And they're a 2:30 start, and it's 8:30. You're talking about you've already had lunch. You're looking at dinner, and that's the time difference. I'm talking about food here, but so yeah, it's a big change, man. And talking about getting sleep, he hasn't got any sleep the whole time. He can't wait to get back. I mean, you love the sights and being there in London and all that, the game and everything and all of that, but sleep is important, and that changes the whole complexity of a superstar player that might not be able to play at that elevated level. And I think that's why the Bears did their due diligence in getting out there a week early so they could hopefully get acclimated and get caught on that sleep, you know?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Wasn't it you that told me that Jacksonville didn't get there a week early?
No, they got there like freaking a couple hours. No, they didn't get there a couple hours ago. Red-eye flight in. No, it was the storm. Unfortunately, the storm that everybody's been going through, whatever, that's what helped or created the mishap, and they didn't plan it like that, but
let's hope that works through our advantage.
Absolutely. So Jacksonville's defense Blues this fall are not far from lack of talent. They will have dangerous defense and Trevon Walker. And I'll tell you what, you look at the Jacksonville team, and I don't know why they're having such a hard time as they do. I looked at that like the Cleveland Browns, man, for a while. It's just like, are you freaking kidding me? Who is coming off a 3-sack show against Indianapolis, Trevon Walker? 3 sacks in one game is very impressive. Hunting Caleb today against a league-prone Bears offensive line against missing Tevin Jenkins. Where has Jacksonville's once proud defense fallen into disarray, other than the fact that I think they have the top 8 rushing defense in the NFL, which that could be a problem if now you're putting more pressure on not only our quarterback, but Waldron to drop more plays and end up being passing plays, you know?
Right. Yeah, I think Jacksonville's struggling this year. I'm pretty sure they lost some of their secondary and their free agency. Right. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think some of them are in the band for.
Yeah. No, that's crucial too, and you don't want to take those guys that are possibly on the bubble with you a trip across the pond because you might not have them. The Bears' defense is banged up also, entering their showdown with Jacksonville Jaguars. All-pro quarterback Trevor Lawrence with a safety Jaquan Brisker sidelined with a concussion. What does the Bears' top 10 ranked, and then what do you call it? Tyreek Stevenson. He's out too, man. It's just one after the other. What does the Bears' top 10 ranked secondary need to do to keep one of the NFL's most electric talents under wraps?
Just keep doing what they're doing. They've been getting good pressure on the ball. Even if they're not racking up the sack, they've still been getting to the quarterback a lot. And the secondary has been top notch.
Well, and I know I quote Darius Lockhart as he's on our shows throughout the week, one of our co-hosts, and he says, the thing about it is, it sounds a little cliche, but it is true, next man up. And I think we got some good next man up. I think, we're looking at a really good situation where we have a lot of depth and they can swap guys in and out and whoever follows.
You signed the Olympians, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be stepping in for Briscoe.
Yeah, and he had quite a bit of start time over in the team up north, but I don't want to say that.
I don't like to say their names either. But, no, I think he'll step in and he'll be solid there.
Right. What's the X factor matchup that will determine today's game? What do you think?
Not turning the ball over. That's going to be, just controlling the pace of play, controlling the ball, and not turning it over is going to be the X factor for the Bears to win.
I think so too. I understand. How cool and unusual is it to see the Bears playing on an international stage, where team president Kevin Warren said this week the Bears welcome international showcase games? Do you think the Bears growing brand have their playing overseas again as early as next year? You think that's a possibility? I see seats and tons of jerseys, and everybody's been talking about it in the Lou Canella show this morning with Joniak and all of them. I saw all kinds of guys, and it looked like we were a home team,
It's definitely a possibility for next year. And going forward as well.
What do you think is going to be the final score today?
I think the Bears are going to pull this one out. I'm not going to say it's going to be a high-scoring one, so I'm going to say it's going to be 17-14 Bears.
Wow, okay, yeah. I think it'll be a little higher. I was thinking 28-24, but we're in Bears is 8. I don't care if it's 3-0. I mean, it's not going to be a win is a win. Yeah, man. So, friends, enjoy the Bears in London with Pure Tequila Heaven, Chicago Blackhawks legend Chris Chelios, El Bandito Yankee. This authentic to the smooth core, additive-free, 100% blue agave ultra-premium tequila has changed the game with extraordinary, wowing, and thirst-quenching taste. Get yours at elbanditoyankee.com, for nothing compares to and celebrates Bears victories like the tequila heaven of El Bandito Yankee. So, everybody just enjoy the show, enjoy all the hospitality, enjoy what Bridges Scoreboard and the entire staff has presented for you. Jim Miller will be in here signing autographs, taking pictures, and all that great stuff. And until we have our halftime show, bear down.